Over the last couple of years on this YouTube channel, I've cultivated some very crucial hardcore beefs. So much so that some would say that I've become an expert on the topic. So when you're an expert, it is your obligation to bestow your knowledge onto the unwashed masses. And there happens to be a little bit of hardcore beef going down right now that doesn't involve me, that doesn't involve 197 or Drain or Hate56 or any of the other countless people that I've been in internet beefs with. But just a heads up, I do kind of know the person involved in this beef, although we're not really close and we haven't talked in a long time, but we'll get into all of that in a little bit. Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan Frampton. Thank you so much for kicking back with me here today. And we're here to talk about my favorite thing in the entire world. Sensitive little hardcore kids just getting angry over nothing. So a couple days ago, a tweet was posted by Josiah Hughes. Josiah Hughes is a co-host of the 155 podcast in which I was a guest a couple years ago. Now, I'm pretty sure they just had me on to make fun of me, but it was a great opportunity and I was so happy to do it. But I just want to put all that out on Front Street just so you see where my bias kind of leans in this story. As somebody that likes to make jokes and bait people into things, I have a certain appreciation for this tweet that Josiah Hughes put out. So without knocking around the bush anymore, let's just pull up the tweet. What's it all about? It's this thing right here. Knocked loose equals angry turnstile. Scowl equals girl turnstile. MS Paint equals egg punk turnstile. Now you might be able to find many inaccuracies with this tweet, but therein lies the genius. Josiah Hughes isn't making observations here. Josiah Hughes isn't making calculated recommendations to people here. No, every word in this tweet is calculated to get a response out of people. So I want to break down the genius of this tweet, and then I kind of want to get into a little bit of the drama that it caused. So Turnstile is like the most popular hypecore band that has existed over the last couple years. Everybody kind of knows that. That fact alone kind of divides the hardcore community. Some hardcore fans still love them, while others absolutely hate Turnstile for kind of turning their back on the genre. There's a whole argument to be made there about Turnstile, but that is kind of like the bubbling undertone of what makes this tweet have kind of the punch that it ended up having. So the first line, knocked loose equals angry turnstile. Now, Knocked Loose is just another hardcore band, a little bit more on the metal side of things. They don't really sound a lot like Turnstile. They're just kind of like the next most popular hardcore band, which is why you use them in the first line of this tweet. You want to catch people's attention and you want to say something gripping right off bat, especially in a landscape where there are so many bands that do sound like Turnstile, that are ripping off the Turnstile formula, that are coming out with Turnstile type riffs and vocal deliveries and that kind of thing. Knocked Loose is not one of those bands. So that's another genius reason to put Knocked Loose here, because it's incorrect. It's popular and it's incorrect. Therefore, it's going to catch people's eyes and make them go, hey, no, that's not right, and go to their keyboards right away. If you want a band that is actually doing Angry Turnstile, look no farther than Regulate. But let's move on to the second line here. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit genius. And this second line reads, scowl equals girl turnstile. This line is loaded. First, scowl sounds really nothing like Turnstile, which makes them a great selection to put in this tweet like this. If you want hardcore with femme vocals that sounds like Turnstile, then you're actually going to go to the band Spaced, not Scowl. Scowl is doing their own thing and has their own like fan groups or whatever, and this makes that the perfect reason to put Scowl in this tweet, especially in the second line. And then the equals girl turnstile part of that is going to rile people up. They're going to be like, female fronted? What do you mean girl turnstile? So it kind of throws in subliminally that gender thing without even having to throw it in. And it's kind of a risky thing to put there, but it's genius because it's just misogynistic enough to get under people's skin and to make you seem like a flawed character that needs to be yelled at on the internet. And then we get to the third line. MS Paint equals egg punk turnstile. Great line here. MS Paint are one of these bands that don't play hardcore, but are accepted by the hardcore scene, so they play all these hardcore shows. And I personally would consider them egg punk, but a lot of people don't consider them egg punk. But because it's a debate, and because it's something that people can go back and forth on, makes it a great inclusion in this tweet. And then this thing got quote retweeted a whole bunch. Like anybody who was anybody was quote retweeting this. See, people were not really pleased about this girl turnstile comment. What do you mean? And then you have people putting images like this, of course, the POV of the back of your throat when you're unaliving yourself. Okay, great, perfect. But then also you have people playing along with the bit and having fun with it and not being an overly sensitive hardcore kid, just having fun on the internet, which is another reason why this is a genius tweet. It gets people going that just want to have fun with it, and it gets people angry as well. It might be the most perfect tweet that has ever been crafted. Gnarly Wolf got really upset over here. Guy who has only heard Turnstile listens to his second hardcore band, getting a lot of Turnstile vibes off of this. This is like a real moment. And that's the case when it comes to a lot of hardcore kids. They don't like to see the joke. They don't like to see the humor in things. They just go off of surface level stuff and get angry at you. MS Paint even came in and were like, Coneheads, Uranium Club, CCTV equals egg punk. MS Paint equals Southern style chicken biscuit. Get it right. So it's kind of like them getting the joke, but also feeding into the hardcore community of let's correct this guy and get mad at him. Really walking that fine line. Carson V2, you are morbidly obese and balding. Enjoy. Okay, buddy. Smaller Kevin says, you are an idiot with 5 exclamation points. We got Foul Stench coming in with a live reaction showing a picture of a guy wetting himself. Tom on here comes on and says, this guy is old, fucking idiot. Holy crap, so triggered. This one is funny though. Angel dust equals turnstile. I agree with that. So after this tweet starts to pick up steam, Josiah comes back in his thread. Big surprise, people are saying rude things to me in the quote tweets. I knew this scene wasn't for me when my band paid to open at a hardcore gig and all the other bands were super snobby to us. I don't know how these people that are yelling, hey, you're old and fat and stupid, don't see this as just a joke. Like Josiah Hughes over here is clearly just making jokes. And I don't know if I need to tell you, but calling someone bald and old and fat and stupid isn't a joke. Those are just basement level low-hanging fruit insults that make you look so bad for saying. But I do want to mention that Josiah Hughes didn't get ratioed with this tweet. It wasn't like there were more angry, sensitive, ridiculous hardcore kids than there were normal people just having fun with this. There were more people just having fun with this. But the fact that it caused such a stir just added to the fact that this might be my favorite tweet ever made. If we're just gonna make factual corrections to the tweet while we're at it, MS Paint really isn't egg punk turnstile. They're more like egg punk military gun. And military gun is basically dad turnstile, which I think was a joke made in the thread here that I might have just accidentally stole. It's been a great year for hardcore Twitter drama. I just hope that it continues. This is my favorite kind of stuff. Just goofy, wacky, doesn't really mean a whole lot. Just fun to riff on. Shredder Be Dead says, well, that would make sense if they had similar riffs. You trying to riff? Nah. Silly times. Alright, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you might actually like this video. Alright, see you later.